2.5 hours are on the clock, and that is how long we're gonna be fishing completely uncut for. Welcome back to TRF. My name is Tyler Anderson, and my goal is to help you guys become better bass anglers. I'm excited about this one for a multitude of reasons. First off, because we're at a brand new body of water. I'm at Table Rock Lake here in Branson, Missouri. Giant body of water. It has all three species, largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass. I've never been here before. I don't really know how to fish it. I don't know where the bass are gonna be. It is early fall. As you can see, I'm in a Reaper sweatshirt and pants. And the third reason why I'm excited is because we are doing a collaboration as a part of today's Uncut. So another YouTuber, Bass Fishing HQ, Tyler Berger is his name. He makes incredible bass fishing videos to help you guys become better bass anglers as well. But we're gonna do something that I hope works out, where I'm gonna be on one side of the screen, uncut, and he's gonna be on the other side of the screen, uncut, and I'll do some editing to make sure we don't talk at the same time. But we're gonna see how an angler from Ohio with him and myself being from Texas, how we break down a middle of the country Ozarks lake. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're gonna enjoy, hopefully not if you're gonna enjoy, when you enjoy this content. We're probably gonna catch quite a few fish for you guys today. That's the plan. As always, I say we start getting some rods out. I think Tyler is ready to go, so I'm gonna text him, start your intro. Alrighty, perfect. So I'm excited. This is uncut, as you can tell. We don't really have a whole lot of cuts going on here.
All right, guys, well, how's it going, everybody? My name is Tyler Berger. My YouTube channel is Bass Fishing HQ. Really fun to meet up with Tyler this week. I know it's Tyler and Tyler, right? Well, it makes it easy for you guys, but I'm really pumped just to meet him and also just kind of do this challenge. I've actually never done an uncut before, so this is really exciting. We're here on Table Rock. Tyler probably talked about the conditions already. The water is in the 70s, upper 70s, mid 70s. We're starting to kind of get into that fall time of the year. So the thing about fall is that the bass can be really spread out. And so what I like to do a lot of times when I'm fishing, you know, this lake's a lot more different than the lakes that I fish at home. One thing is, like, I don't have any docks like this, and this lake's full of docks. Not only is it full of docks, but it has a ton of these daggum cables. About died right there. But it has these cables, so hopefully you don't see me completely just snagged on cables for 2.5 hours. But one thing I really like to do when I come to these lakes is kind of pick a section that I think I can do a little bit of everything in a really quick period of time. So this little area that I have, it's a really small creek just ahead of me. Right now I'm actually on the main lake. So I'm gonna work from here kind of into the creek and to the back, but it's a small creek. You know, sometimes the best populations of bass live in bigger creeks, but you can sometimes figure them out quicker by kind of utilizing those small creeks. So anyways, that is what I'm gonna try to do today. And hopefully we can just catch some fish and have fun. So, all right.
Lighting looking good?
Let's go.
Yeehaw. Yeehaw, brother. Yeehaw, brother. Auto 20 feet. Okay. Ring, ding, 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 ding.
You know, the Ozarks are really kind of known for a plopper bite. So that's what I'm starting with this morning. Why not fish a plopper? You know, it's kind of the win and roam thing. Plus I just love fishing it, but I'm really gonna stick pretty hard to this.
Conditions we've got for today's episode are, like I mentioned, early fall. Water temperature right now is 72.5, which means that the super cold night we had last night has definitely cooled off the water. Tyler was actually out here yesterday, and he said that the water temp was 77. So that's a 5-degree cool overnight. I assume it'll rise back up to mid 70s as this day progresses. I'm gonna start off by throwing top water because I've heard that's what you do on Table Rock, and I've heard the whopper flopper is the one to throw.
I gotta make sure I got all my daggum
we're gonna do that
stuff on.
I just don't know what depth zone they're gonna be in. I don't know if they're suspended. Don't know if they're on the bank. We should be pretty good conditions today. A little bit of wind here and there. Gotta loosen my brakes here. little bit of wind, relatively clear water, probably 6 to 10 foot, maybe more, depending where we go. This could be bad. I already see fish on live scope. I want to throw a drop shot.
You know, something else that kind of made me stop in this general area, you know, I had looked at a map last night and just kind of saw it's what I wanted to do. It has a little bit of everything, but when I got here, I saw some bait balls. And that's something that is so key. I mean, that's really key any time of the year, but in the fall, I mean, that's all the fish are thinking about is feeding, because they're getting ready for winter. And yeah, they're gonna feed during the winter, but they don't feed as heavily. So they like to kind of bulk up and just get fatter. So anyways, we got bait, we got a little bit of everything. It's really good starting spot, I like, but I don't really like to give a spot more than about 15 or 20 minutes before. I don't know if it's because I'm impatient or just because I feel like most of the time when you find a good area, you start catching fish pretty quick. So we'll probably be moving a lot today over the next 2.5 hours. And oh my gosh, look at that turtle. I about had a turtle hit my whopper plopper.
Fish didn't want it. There's a group of fish in front of me now.
Wish I had a little bit of wind.
Oh, my drag is way too loose. Alright, I think we're gonna keep seeing lots of fish on live scope. I'll just keep the drop shot out for when I do. Now where I'm starting today is on a main lake point. And, oh gosh, brakes are too loose. Reasoning for that is because, again, I don't feel like they've really had a whole lot of fall here. Yeah, we've had a few cold fronts, not cold fronts, a bunch of cold nights here. But it's still like the leaves haven't really changed a whole lot. So I'm assuming that most of the fish and bait fish are either on the main lake or, you know, in that first third of the creeks. They're not pushed back all the way in the back of the creeks yet. As that is something bass tend to do. They push the bait fish all the way to the back of the creek. Or they follow them. I don't know if they push them or they follow them.
Oh! Man, I tell you what, these dock cables are almost impossible to see. They really are.
You see fish out there, and I wonder if these are crappie or what the heck they are. I don't know if they're bass.
I'm actually switching over. You know, one of my favorite baits to fish around docks is a swim bait of some sort. I think everybody tends to pick up a jig, and a jig is obviously a great bait to fish. Like there's no bad thing with the jig, but a swim bait is just something that guys might not pick up as much, and it's extremely easy to skip. And then I have a terrible skip, but
and we're going to be throwing topwater a lot. Unless, of course, it doesn't work, and then we won't. But I'm assuming it will. Oh, yeah, dang it. Guess I gotta heave this one. Speed up a little bit. My trolling motor, gosh dang it. I wasn't happy with how far it cast, but now I'm not happy with how much I backlash. There we go. And I think wind is also important on this place. You want a little chop. Light getting bright. That should have been a fish. Come on. I just saw a fish bust, and I've got a rod to cast the top water a little bit further. So, there we go. Give it to me. Give me a fish. Huh. Man. A fish did bust. All right, we are now scaring bait fish when I move my top water.
I keep wanting to throw a jig, but it's the morning time. Might as well just throw some big baits, catch some big bass.
Looks like there's some fish down there.
Something just moved up there. I just saw something. Where's my plopper? That's not it. Where'd it go? It looked like something just pushed some bait fish up on the shoreline there. Of course, my plopper was all hung up on my rod, and I think that I'd like a little bit of wind for that plopper. Where's that one bait? There it is. I'd really like a little bit more wind. I'm gonna try a little bit of a wake bait, a little bit more of a silent bait. That reel sounds great. A little bit more silent, real subtle.
Gosh, my old truck's is loud. Gee.
I got rods laying everywhere. All right, guys, I think we're gonna make a move. You know, this is Table Rock. There's a pretty big population.
There, oh gosh, dang it. Ah, you stinker. You little stinker. I don't know what that was. We're gonna give it another cast. Ah, man.
The opens as well, the Bassmaster Opens, you just kind of get in that mindset of just kind of wanting to continue to hunt. So like I said, I really don't like to give us an area more than about 15 or 20 minutes because yes, I'm probably passing up some fish from time to time, but it really seems like if you get into those areas where there's a lot of fish, you're gonna start catching them right away. So I just went past a bigger marina that's right over there, and marinas can be big any time of the year for catching fish. You can, I mean, spring, summer, winter, fall, marinas are gonna hold fish. So I'm gonna go over there, see if I can't kind of pick around. I'm really not even sure if I'm allowed in that marina, because sometimes in these Ozark areas, you're not allowed in stuff in certain marinas or whatever. So anyways, let's go over there, check it out, see if we can't catch some bass.
On the whopper plopper. So hey, we're gonna continue down this bank for a little bit. If I don't get anything by this next point, or on this next little bend, I'm gonna hop to that point over there. I think it's a location thing right now. You gotta find active fish, not necessarily a pattern deal. Oh, caught a stick. Yeah. We got a stick. Ah, dang it. Oh no. Yeah. We're good. Uh-oh. Thank you.
Sun's starting to come out.
Got all kinds of
Sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops. All right, guys. What we got here is a marina right here. That's what I wanted to fish, but there's a nice little perfect point right there. Might as well hit it real quick and then jump in, fish around that marina. So
this is why you don't leave your drop shot just laying around. Do as I say, not as I do.
Let's see how we do here.
Just want to just. There we go. This is so complicated.
You know, Table Rock has all three major species, the smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass. And I'm sure that they have mean mouth and a few of those crossbreeds, but got a little bait fish flicking. I kind of like being able to target all the species, you know, because Sometimes
Yay.
largemouth are just not having a good day. You know, they're a little bit grumpy, so you can catch a smallmouth or a largemouth, or a smallmouth or a spotted bass, and vice versa. Sometimes a smallmouth aren't cooperating. You go catch a spotted bass or a largemouth. So it's nice to fish a lake that has all three species. I really don't have that at all back home.
So my thoughts so far, haven't really fished a whole lot to have a lot of thoughts, but definitely not as active as I thought they'd be with how much bait fish I saw on that point.
Oh, he missed it.
I saw 1 or 2 blow-ups. So I'm hoping I find some more active ones. Maybe this lake is not a early morning bite. Who knows?
First bite is on a point, really shallow. See if he comes back. That looked like a little spotted bass. That thing was not big, but I'm assuming spotted bass. It could have been a largemouth or a smallmouth for all I know, but he did not look big. That doesn't mean I don't want to catch him though. Throw my little hootie grub up there at him. But like I was saying, guys, I mean, it's nice to have a lake that has all three species, so that if one's not cooperating, you can kind of target the other one. You know, the water temp was a lot warmer than I had. Oh, I'm getting bit. He's got it. Oh gosh, you dirty dog. Pull my skirt down. That was, whatever that is not big. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass her by. But the water temp is still pretty warm, guys. It's like 77, 75 is what I'm seeing a lot. So I really imagine that a lot of these fish might still be kind of on the main lake for the most part. But, you know, they could start moving back at any time. So I'm just gonna kind of bebop between kind of in some creeks, out on the main lake, and just try to figure out where these fish are. But let's give this marina a little bit of time.
Let's idle over there.
You know, something I know about spotted bass is that they will suspend a lot around marinas. So maybe we can't, there's like an outside break wall here. I know that can be a deal here as well. So maybe we can catch one doing that. But nice juicy backlash. Gotta have one of those.
Sunglass time. Get your glasses on, folks. Stay hydrated. Yeah.
Not a good cast.
This next point is technically secondary. So the main lake is out there. The 2 main lake points are right here. This is technically a secondary point. But on big lakes like these highland reservoirs, I really even consider this a main lake point. It's close enough to the main lake. It's not like fish are gonna know the difference between the point way out there and the point here. Close enough. Secondary to me is when you get significantly into the creek. I saw 2 fish and they like chased my drop shot down to the bottom, but then didn't eat it. It's weird. Fish are acting very erratic.
Got a sign over here. It says restricted area commercial zone. No fishing, swimming, diving, jumping. I don't really know what that means exactly. I don't want to be doing something I'm not supposed to be, but we'll fish these outside break walls and go find us a new spot.
Yeah. There are lots of fish around here. I'm seeing lots of bass, but they're not eating my drop shot, that's for sure. Which could be a drop shot color deal. Might change that color. Some of these fish should be eating my drop shot. For sure.
Just seen one breaking out there. Come on. Ah, you missed it. Come on, get it, fish.
If there's fish down there, I'm gonna crank.
Ah, one just busted out there, missed it.
I'll throw the old 5XD.
He's pushing bait.
See what we can do about it.
He's pushing bait, come on.
I'm seeing fish, but they're not eating my drop shot. Sorry if I'm not talking to the camera as much, folks. As usual, uncuts. I kind of want Tyler to be able to talk to the camera too, and us not to be speaking over each other. But I picked up a medium diving crankbait, or I don't know, it's not deep, it's 5XD, so it's kind of deep, but also kind of not.
You know, I want to go up there, and there's some fish that are pushing bait right up there. They don't seem big. And I want to go up there and fish, but I just realized that there's a boat. I didn't even see that boat that was right there. There's a guy in an aluminum boat right there. He looks like he's fishing for him too, and I don't want to jack them all up. Maybe we'll come back later.
There we go.
Golly, they're busting right there. You know, the fall, I might be throwing too big of a bait. You know, in the fall time, the bass are going to eat on the young of the year shad a lot, which is what I think they're doing right there. Sorry, I'm trying to be quiet because there's boats around and they stare at me when I'm talking to a camera, but this bait might just be too big. I've had two fish miss it, the one on the point over there and the one that schooled right over there. So I might try like a spy bait or something like that. See if they eat that up. golly, about took my face off with the spy bait.
Ah, dang it. Gotta figure out the brakes on these reel. Brand new reel. Not throwing a 5XD in a while. Equals backlash. Dun, 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 dun. Gosh dang it. There we go. I had fish follow me in. Come on. Come on, little mamas. Come on, little baby mamas.
Couple of fish down there. See that on my electronics? Let's see if I can't catch them on old droppity shot.
Gosh, man. I'm gonna fish up to these docks here, and if I don't get any on the docks, I'll find a new area.
Just got it. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Just broke them off. I think I just broke them off. Oh, he must have hit my drop shot weight. I just saw that fish on the graph, guys. Hang on. Hang on. Put another drop shot weight on quick. That one fine. Really don't know how that fish didn't get hooked right there. I saw fish. I was getting ready to fish down this bluff here, and as I was idling over this little bluff end, I saw a couple fish on the graph. Pitched down there at the drop shot, and first little drop had one pull me down.
Oh.
I don't know if he hit my drop shot weight.
Dang it! I had a bite. A fish knocked my crankbait forward, and he missed it. Man. Had a bite. Keep getting bites, I miss them. Don't like that.
Seems to be a little group of fish in this area anyways. Between those schooling fish and whatever's on this point.
Overhand casts are not the deal. Not the deal. Whatever reason, that results in a backlash. How's my lighting look? Yeehaw.
That didn't last long. I'm gonna have to put another drop shot weight on. Yep, and re-rig that.
Oh no. That's why I don't throw a nose hook drop shot bait.
All right, guys.
Oh, I hate nose hook drop shot baits.
There's definitely some fish around here,
They get stuck on stinking.
but I can't fish for those schooling fish right now because that guy's sitting right over there on them. He has not caught one, so I don't think they're
Yeah.
big. But like I said, that doesn't mean I wouldn't want to catch him.
She broke. At least she didn't break at the leader.
There's a lot of fish on this point that I'm dropping on, but there's a lot of brush, and it literally drops into 100 foot of water. So right there, it's about 25, and where my boat is sitting is over 100 feet. And it seems like right when you start coming down is when that fish pulled me down. I can't believe he must have had the weight. He had to have had the weight.
It's not working great so far. No great success.
Because I mean, he like pulled. You know what I'm saying? Like when he pulled, golly, those fish are just busting over there, man.
Relatively new dock
But he
here.
has not caught a fish.
Not relatively, actually, brand new
It's
dock.
like he's throwing topwater. It just seems like, man, these fish like that small bait right now. You know what I also might be able to catch him on is like a little spoon. All right, let's try.
We are about to leave.
Point again.
Okay. A whole bunch of nothing going on around here. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of how much nothing's going on. So we're gonna pick the trolling motor up, run down the lake, see if we can find ourselves a new spot. So this is not going good. Eventually, y'all, I will do an uncut that's not on a brand new lake. But for now, you're stuck with that. Hope you liked it. Okay. Got my life jacket on. Y'all can use code TRF to get 15 or 10% off your Blue Storm life jacket. Keep yourself safe out there. And then, sponsor of today's video is Pro Guide batteries. I'm up here at the Ozarks where the Pro Guide batteries is from. I got my lithium batteries back there, brand new, just launched. And you can use 10% off. You can use code TRF to save 10% on your batteries too. Lithium, AGM, they've been making batteries for a long stinking time. So I trust them, and you should as well. Let's see what we got here.
All right, guys, well, There's definitely some fish around that marina, kind of in the mouth of that marina. I saw some schooling. I literally was so focused on the fish, I didn't see a boat that was really close. Just it looks like a couple in an aluminum boat. I don't want to just jump on the fish that are over there. So they seem to be fishing for those schoolers. So I'm gonna let them do that. I'm just gonna keep covering water here. We might come back to that in a little bit if no one's there, but I kind of want to fish some main lake stuff too and see. We got a little bit of a bluff bank here. Looks like it's got some cedars that are off of it. So just gonna throw the plopper down. Got to be careful on some of these lakes though, because there's literally wood sticking out all over the place. I don't want to trash my trolling motor or my boat or my motor. I'd like to get really tight up on the bank, but you just got to watch those trees. We'll give this about 10 minutes and then make a move. Oh, see, there's a big tree right there. You guys probably, well, you might be able to see it in this camera. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Gotta watch that stuff. Little point right there in this bluff. There should be a fish on that.
Yeah, my power poles are dirty.
They're pretty dirty.
Yeesh.
Well, when they're white, they stick out like that.
Yeah, I know. All right. Spot number 2, folks. Well, technically spot number 3 because we idled a little bit, but not too bad. I just saw something that I had to stop on, and that is a boat ramp. And it looks like a private boat ramp, which is great because boats probably haven't launched here today. So, we're good to go. Mr. Kevin Van Dam also told me that gravel points this time of the year are better than chunk rock, so this will be our first attempt at true gravel. See if Kevin's right. He probably is, but you know, always worth checking. I do love me a boat ramp. Also looks like a great place to throw a crankbait.
Man, there should have been a bass right there. Nice little point in that bluff. Trees on the end of it. Well, I hope Tyler's catching them. Not really giving you guys a good show right now. Although I would have liked to fish some of them schoolers a little bit.
Nothing on the boat ramp? Come on, man. That's not nice. Dang. I kind of felt good about this.
I'm gonna fish up to this little tree on this point and then probably scoot.
Well, there are fish there. I'm going over them right now. They just didn't want to bite my crankbait. Frustrating. There's lots of fish down there. Sheesh. We're gonna grab ourselves a different drop shot and see if we can figure these fish out. nice
Catch a
green
jig
pumpkin
down there on that
blue
tree.
dream shot.
It just looks too juicy.
Might get the job done, eh? Don't you know?
Doesn't look like
I
it.
do a lot of my drop shots, not a lot actually, 100%. All my drop shots Texas rigged. And I got some comments in one of the last drop shot videos that I made that the hook I'm using is not the best Texas rig hook for the job because it's not offset. The hook point is in line with the eye, and I could see that. I could see that being the case. But I found success with it, so gonna keep using it.
I think what I might do here in just a second is try to find another marina we can fish. There definitely seem to be a little, I mean, maybe it's not the marina that's holding those fish. It's
I
probably
did just see some fish chasing bait, so
I mean, the marina's
back to the crankbait. And y'all, in the fall, I really like, on a boat, I like to cover water. Pond and everything, I still cover water, but not as fast. And actually, I made a video about that on my channel, if there really is a fall transition. I think it helped a lot of people understand their ponds. Oh, is that a fish? No. Hit a rock. But on big lakes like this, especially when you've never been here, you kind of feel lost at times. Like right now, I kind of feel lost.
I'm getting to have a lot of rods out.
Which is why I'm throwing a crankbait. Oh, that's the bottom. Felt really good, but it was not. It's the ground.
All right, guys, real quick change of plans. Looks like that boat is out of here. So I'm going to see if I can't see these fish busting again. If they come up, we'll fire this spy bait at them. Thinking about tying a spoon on too. I think that other boat left, so.
I'm sitting in 16 feet right now. This 5XD dives to about 14-ish on this 10-pound line here. And again, I don't know if the fish are really schooled up yet. I think they're kind of spread out still. I'm seeing bait fish on my graph. I'm a fish finder. I see fish down there. I do see fish down there. Could be crappie. Nothing going.
Got one. Here we go, guys. Oh gosh, they're still busting right there. Yep, little Kentucky bass, little spot. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Here we go. Oh shoot, careful. All right, guys. Whoa, look at that. That is bizarre. Well, it's not bizarre, but that was the first bite that I saw. Look at this guy's mouth though. Look at that, Mr. Crawfish. I thought he was feeding on bait fish and he's got a crawl in his mouth. Like that. That sucker looks like it's fresh. Interesting. Might have to tie on a little bit of Ned rig. This is a little spotted bass though. Nice little fish. Throw it back. That was a first little bust I saw with the, you know, guys, made that change to the spy bait. I had a fish earlier just completely miss my topwater, and they feed on such small bait. You really have to mimic it. You really have to go kind of small, and a spy bait is just something that's a little bit smaller. And that fish, I mean, he came up, I threw right on top of him, and he got it right away. So I know there's some more in this area. I'm gonna fan cast around here for a little bit and see if we can't catch a couple more, see if they don't come up. I know it wasn't just one fish, but I think that it's so important. Like, I can't tell you how important, especially this time of the year when those fish are feeding on those tiny, oh gosh, sucker hit that when I dropped it. There he is. Wait for it. Come on, come on. Gosh, he missed it. Come on, fish. There's another one or two here. But in the fall, I mean, you really have to mimic that bait fish as well as you can. And it's so hard to do. There's a few lures that will do it. You know, a spy bait, it's bigger, you know, it's a small bait, but it's, you know, it's bigger than those shad, but it just has a small profile. You know, it's really skinny, and it just, those fish that are schooling sometimes will absolutely kill a spy bait. Sometimes oh, dang it, there's a fish way over there. I don't know if I can make this. Oh, I'm gonna cast. All right, guys, while I'm waiting for another fish to come up, I'm gonna keep this rod ready, but I'm gonna rig up a little spoon, like a really small spoon, if I have any. There he is. There he is. There he is. We got one coming up. Man, this is, see this, this is where it would be nice to have that live scope. If I know Tyler has it on his boat, so if he's doing the same thing, it would be easy to just pan around here and see where the fish are. I'm strictly just going off of where they're busting. So instead of being in front of the fish like you can be with a live scope, I'm always behind them, which is not ideal, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do. And right now, what I got to do is find a little spoon. And I don't know if I brought them. And if I bought them, I don't know where they are. Man, there's a fish absolutely destroying bait over there. Golly. I can't find my spoons. Okay. Another change of plans. Not going to be fishing a spoon because I can't find them. So we'll just keep fishing this spy bait. I was cranking that bait in a second ago, and a spot, about a 1.5 pound spot, was right on it. Golly, every time you make a cast.
I think the wind kind of died all around. It's gonna say we don't have any wind, but it's not windy anywhere. The wind just burned off the fog.
I think these are primarily small spots, so I obviously want to catch some bigger fish, so, but it'd be nice to catch maybe one more and then head out. I'm just gonna sit here and wait, act like I have a Panoptics and pan around and see nothing.
Oh, schooling fish. Schooling fish. Top water.
It won't be long.
Come
I'll
on.
have to get a live scope.
It all happens so fast. I don't even see it
right behind me.
on the graph. They're here and gone like the wind. King Solomon had a phrase about that. Oh, there they are. Sheesh. Quite a few fish out there. Oh, they're over bait right there. I'm gonna cast my crankbait.
Sometimes
right
with these fish that are schooling like this,
there. And
you can actually kind of buzz your bait. Looks like something just hit over there. You can actually kind of buzz your boat over top of them, and what it does is it scatters the bait fish out a little bit, and they'll actually school right behind the boat at times. So that is what I'm going to do right now. Oh man.
They followed it, but did not eat it. Did not eat.
A freaking good one just hit up there, and my spy bait's a mess.
Not want to eat the crankbait that time. How about this crankbait? What the heck?
This is the bad thing about having two mini rods on the front deck, because everything's all jacked up right now. Let's get organized.
Got to be over there then. Gotta be.
Somehow I lassoed my spy bait to itself.
Wow.
Not even sure how this is possible. All right, let's just cut it. Ooh, I just thought of another bait these bass might like. You don't hear a lot of people talking about this bait, but I'm telling you what, it will catch some bass. You guys ever heard of a riser bait? This could be the ticket, actually. This is made by Jackal. It's a Japanese bait, and it just literally just skips across the water like a little bait fish. So it's a pretty fun bite when they're on it.
There are fish out here on this point. Come on. Eat my crankbait, please. Eat my crankbait.
Let's wing this around for a minute. They seem to be liking this little area just over here.
All right. I'm not leaving. I'm taking off my chest mount. All right. Last cast here. And we'll go find somewhere else. Don't know what else to do. And keep trying this, just in different places maybe. All right. Yeet. Yeet. Maybe I need to just beat the bank with a topwater? I don't know. I do not know.
Oh gosh, he hit it too. Dadgummit.
Y'all remember when you couldn't like sit on your iPhone or it would bend? Oh my goodness.
I think
It's
that was
already
just
been
a
an
small
hour
one.
and 20 minutes. And I've caught nothing. Ah, gosh. I sure hope he's caught something. Stair step, pilings and shading the bridge. Where are we at? Right there. Okay.
I'm just trying to follow some of these fish right now. They keep busting in different areas. I'm sure by the time I get over here, they'll bust over there. That's just how it works usually.
Camera off and mute my audio, and we'll see y'all down there.
think I'm gonna make my way up to the top of this little bay here, and then we're gonna head out. It'd be fun to catch a few more of these fish, but they're not really busting consistently anywhere. They were right when I first came in and that one boat was here, but they've kind of stopped. You know, the sun's starting to get up and I bet they're gonna start pushing, going down. Oh, now we're talking, guys. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You guys wanting to catch some mega fish? I think that's actually a little largemouth.
I should strap down my rods. I'll get it.
Dang it, one's busting. Come on.
Thought that I could just drive down the lake, y'all, but I cannot. I must strap down my rods. There's a lot more boats out here than I thought there'd be. Yeah. On a Tuesday.
All right, guys, let's make a move.
Okay. Are you out of a battery?
Yep.
Dang. Hot dang. Okay. I don't know why the fishing is so hard, but for some reason it is. Yeah, little hour update if you've been mostly paying attention to his side of the screen, which you probably have. It's not going great for me. Only got like 3 bites. One exploded on the top water and missed. So we're just gonna keep plugging around. I pride myself on finding fish pretty quickly on new bodies of water, and I just can't seem to get it done. Crankbait. Crankbait. Crankbait in my buff. Gosh, I see like 7 fish down there. Are they bass? Who knows? I always hope they are. But lately they have not been.
All right, guys, kind of stopped on a flat point here. Sometimes these flat points can be where largemouth are, so throw this plopper a little bit. See if we can't call up any.
Ah, I hate this.
This point may have been too flat.
This stinks. Why can't I, thank you, Levi. Why can't I catch a fish? I'm gonna text Tyler. Well, obviously I'm not doing the right thing.
Well, you are, but
Have you caught any, question mark? I hope he has, for y'all's sake. 'Cause I'm stinking it up. Stinky poo-poo. Saw a fish, but...
All right, guys. Just stop there for a quick second. It's very still out today. So I'm starting to think the sun's getting up. You know, I'm either gonna try to find a little bit of a wind on a windy bank, or I might start skipping a jig around some docks. Because, I mean, look at it, it's glass out here. So usually on clear water, you're gonna want some wind, and there's just none right here. So I'm gonna go try to find some wind first, and if not, I'm gonna start skipping a jig around docks and maybe catch a big largie.
I'm gonna call him.
Uh-oh. We got Tyler calling us. What's going on?
How's it going for you?
Oh, just blasting them.
I feel some sarcasm.
Yes,
Have you
there's
caught,
a lot of sarcasm.
have you caught one?
I did catch a keeper spot and then like a microscopic, I don't even know if it was a largemouth or a spot, but that's all. How about you?
I had one good bite on a plopper, and that's it.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, it's flat calm. I was just telling the people that I think I'm gonna go try to find some wind somewhere, and if I can, I might start skipping a jig.
Okay. Yep.
Because it is just, it's just brutal.
Exactly.
But I did find, I found some schooling fish, and they were spots, and I think if I could have got on them when they were, I pulled up to a marina, and kind of on the end of the marina they were schooling, and I was like so focused on the fish I didn't even see a boat that was kind of close by.
Oh yeah.
And so then I saw them, I'm like, oh crap. So I like veered away and like went and fished some other stuff. Then I came back and they weren't schooling as much, but I did catch the one keeper spot on a spy bait in them. So
Okay. Well, yeah, I found a few schooling offshore and one huge group pushing bait, but they wouldn't eat my drop shot, my crankbait at various depths, so I'm not sure what to do.
yeah, it's a little stingy. Like I said, I'm gonna go try to find some wind, but it is so flat calm right now. I think I might just have to get up under a marina dock and skip a jig around.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, dude.
All right, see you.
Talk to you soon.
Yep. Alrighty, so you heard his conversation there. He has only caught 2 fish, and one being any size. And he said the wind is probably what's causing us, or the lack of wind is what's causing us to not catch any fish. So let's go find ourselves something that's not this area. I think I'm just gonna go run real quick right over there. I got this one song from TikTok stuck in my head. Okay. Oh, there's baitfish up there.
All right, guys. I just got a call from Tyler, and he's had one good bite on a plopper, and that's it. So this is just kind of the, you know, that's just kind of fishing. You know, I feel like a lot of people think you go out there and blast them all the time, but it's a puzzle. We all love that puzzle. So I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I don't want to slow down right now, but I'm gonna force myself. There's a couple of good little docks here that I'm gonna try to skip a jig around, maybe throw a swim bait around, see if I can't catch a fish. Doing that, maybe a great big 8-pound largemouth. Or a nice chunky spot. I'd take a nice chunky spot.
Man, I'm seeing a lot of baitfish. Every 4 seconds, my plopper passes by a new little pod of them.
Oh yeah. That was the first cast. Ooh, look at that, Mr. Smallmouth. Okay, there we go, guys. Not a keeper on this lake, I don't believe, but smallmouth. Whoa! Easy, ow, ow, God. All right, not a keeper on this lake, but hey, that's literally the first dock I pulled up to, and man, still so beautiful. But that fish was, I mean, he hit it up in there and was swimming out at me, so that's good. That literally settles my nerves down. But that might be just what we have to do today, guys, is just kind of slow down. Might be a whole school on one of these docks too, for all we know. I'm gonna try to get back up under there. Cast my backlash out quick. I wasn't expecting a smallmouth. I would have told you a spot or a largemouth before a smallie, but hey, I'll take smallmouth. I love me a good smallie.
Caffeine shad.
That fish was on the bottom in about 15 foot of water up under this dock, so. Clues, that's all we're looking for, is some clues. Fish, give us something. I need to get a better skip though. I need to get up under there. Well, that's
weightless caffeine shad.
That's usually what happens when you just give it too much juice.
Yep, now I would have gotten a backlash if I had tried anything fancy there.
Nice old backlash.
More or less what I wanted.
I had a guy tell me one time, he's like, man, you're pretty quick at picking a backlash out. And I was like, well, that's because I've backlashed a lot in my life.
Not what I wanted.
You can only get good one way.
This feels a little bit stiffer than that.
Still not really under there.
You've got to be kidding me. Gosh dang it.
There it goes.
Not much is going my way right now, folks. Not a whole lot going my way. I need a shorter medium action rod from marinas. This long one does not work. Yeah, 7.2 medium is not the best accuracy weightless jerkbait rod.
Now, a lot of times, one of the best places to fish on some of these docks is the back side of them. I'm not sure this one will be in enough water, but we'll find out.
I feel like a 6'6" heavy would be way more accurate. This 7.2 that I've got.
Ooh. A lot of little shore minnows around here.
Man, I cannot escape getting snagged. Really good at getting snagged today. Some fish in the middle of the dock. Can't quite get to them. Problem.
Golly.
Oh, I had a tiny one. Man, that would have been a fish. Maybe he'll eat again. He is dinky. I don't even want him, he's too small. Restart. It'll get back to being bright very soon. Can't believe I'm not getting any fish in this marina on this jerkbait. Crazy.
All right, guys. I'm gonna pitch a drop shot around some of the outside edges of these docks as I go around.
Also way hotter than I thought it would be in October.
Especially if there's, look, there's a bass right there. Just had a bass come off. I saw him on my 2D.
Not cast this rod at all.
Here, there's a bite. Got him. Oh gosh, that might be a better fish there. That's definitely a better fish. Wonder if it's a smallmouth. No, it looks like a largemouth. Ooh. Better fish here. That fish was deep. He was sitting in 20-25. Man, that's a good largemouth. Or is that a big spot? Woo, buddy, come on. Nope, that's a largemouth. Largemouth and about 20 foot. Off the end of a dock. Drop shot. Catch a smallmouth on a jig and a largemouth on a drop shot. All right, I'm gonna go back here to land this fish. Come here. There we go. All right, here we go. There we go, buddy. Solid. Largy there. I mean, he's probably a 2.5 pounder. Golly. I just love fishing. If you're like me and like Tyler, it doesn't matter how big they are sometimes. It's just fun to catch them. But we're putting something together, guys. I'm gonna let this guy go. Solid fish. We're putting a little bit something together. This is literally the first set of docks that I pulled up to. And the reason why I liked them is that they're not huge marina docks, but they're small marina docks, if that makes sense. So in this lake, you have a ton of like really, really big marina docks. Those fit, there's definitely fish in there, but they could be anywhere. I need to get a new worm. They could really be anywhere in there. And so these small marina docks, there's only so many places that they're gonna be. So I can fish them a lot more effectively and a lot faster and kind of figure out if there's fish on them, which obviously there are a couple fish on them. So we are making headway, guys. That fish came on I believe this is a 6-inch robo worm. I'm actually Texas rigging it because there's a lot of brush piles and stuff like that around here. I like to nose hook, but it is kind of ironic that I catch the largemouth on the drop shot and a smallmouth on the jig. So, but that seems about right. So that fish was 15-20 foot of water on the end of this dock. There was a cable that I saw that was going straight down, and I'm guessing that fish was on that cable. Let's see if there's not another one there. I'm getting hot though, so I'm about to take my sweatshirt off. Man, that fish, the way he bit, it was literally like peck, peck, peck. I'm thinking it's another tiny smallmouth. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I set, I realized, man, this thing's got a lot of weight to it.
Give me something.
GoPro just ran out of batteries. I'm gonna switch that over real quick.
All right, let's get out of here. It's not working. Me no likey. The rest of the time we got, I'm just hitting main lake points with a crankbait. I feel like that's the best chance I have at catching a fish. Dang it. Stinks. Y'all are seeing the real uncut here of two anglers struggling. One more than the other. Yeah. Alrighty. At least my equipment isn't failing me. Thanks, Pro Guide batteries. I'm failing me. Because I can't catch a dang bass. Alright, big camera off. We'll see y'all at the next spot.
Maybe the drop shot's the deal, with it being as slick and calm as it is right now. Try to get right back where that largemouth was. Where's that wire? Right there. You know, some of you guys may not believe this, and some of you may, but I kind of feel like the days of having one or two rods on the front deck of your boat are almost gone. If you look at a lot of the best bass fishermen in the world right now, Brian Thrift, Kevin Van Dam, Jacob Wheeler, the one thing that a lot of them tend to have in common is that they have a lot of rods on the front deck of the boat. And I think the thing is that, man, am I getting another bite right there? I think the thing is that, you know, it's so hard to just go down the bank and catch fish like you used to be able to, you know. I've caught 3 fish and that little microscopic fish, but they've all been on 4 different baits. So I think you just kind of, every fish that's out there swimming around has a different personality. You know, they're like people in the fact that they're that way. They have different personalities. So, you know, we see it the best when they're on a bed, because on a bed you can visibly see what they're doing. You can tell, hey, they don't like that bait, or they don't like this bait, or even if you're using live scope, you can kind of tell what the fish like. You know, and I think that's the biggest thing we've kind of found out over the last couple of years, is that the fish are just really different. You know, that fish that I just caught on the drop shot may have not hit a jig. You know, he's got a little bit different attitude, you know, and vice versa. So, man, there was another, I bet that's the end of that cable. I just saw another fish on my 2D right there. And I think that that's probably where the end of that cable is. Way out here, away from the dock, in about 25, 30. But long story short, which has already been a long story, so there's no point in me actually saying that, but I just think you got to have a lot of rods on the front deck, you know? Sure, it's great when you can just go down the bank with a spinnerbait or flip a jig around and catch them, but sometimes I think just having more rods gives you more opportunity to catch more fish. And typically the more fish you catch, the better chance you have at catching some bigger ones. But that's just my fun thoughts of the day. Something that was the same about both of those fish though, was that they were towards the end of the dock. They weren't up in it. So I don't really have enough clues to decide whether or not that's the actual pattern is the very end of these docks yet. But if I keep fishing and I keep catching a couple on the end, then I won't even worry about fishing these other slips. I'll just focus on the end. We don't have much time, but tell you what, I'm pretty much gonna have to pick up the jig here to be able to get it in the right area, because you can't skip a drop shot. Got about a half hour left.
It is so dead calm. Ugh.
I really want to pick up that whopper plopper and just go
wind.
Find some fish with it, but you know, get some shade lines going and whatnot, but sometimes when days are tough, it seems like there's two big things that you can do on tough days. And one is, I mean, keep the trolling motor on high and just don't stop. Literally just keep covering water, keep covering water. You're gonna catch a fish here, you're gonna catch a fish there, you're gonna catch a fish, you know, all over, very spread out. But then the other thing to do is really slow down. You know, really slow down, fish as slow as you can. But it's hard to do that unless you know that you're in an area that's actually holding fish. So it would be super difficult for me to fish this drop shot as slow as I am right now if I didn't catch those two, that smallmouth and that largemouth. That's the only thing kind of giving me confidence that there might be a couple more fish around here. And the fact that I'm seeing a lot of bait fish flick here and there.
This is not going to be a fun video to edit.
But those are the two things that you can really do on tough days is slow down, you know, in an area that you know has fish, or speed up and just cover as much water as you can.
I just saw a fish and now it's gone. Did not think I was gonna have to try this hard.
You know, me and Tyler come from two vastly different states when it comes to bass fishing terms. Like, he comes from Texas, and Texas is so different, you know, and it's even different in different places of Texas. You know, I have never fished in Texas, but I just know, I pay attention to a lot of stuff. You know, I pay attention to a lot of tournaments and whatnot. And I know that there's places in Texas where there's a lot more grass, and then there's places like where Tyler's from in Dallas. I know he's pretty close to Lake Travis, which is a clear body of water, sets up really similar to Table Rock. So, but just being from two totally different backgrounds in fishing, I'm interested just to kind of see, I'm really interested to see this video, because I'm interested to see how he attacks this body of water versus myself. You know, I tend to like to fish as fast as I can until I get around fish, and I do think that that's best, but I'm very interested to see how he attacks it. You know, it's just, a lot of times in bass fishing, there's really no right way. There's just whatever fits your style. You know, you got the guys in the world like Greg Hackney. You know, Greg Hackney, one of the best flippers, pitchers, shallow water fishermen in the world. Another guy like him, John Cox. You know, those guys are really methodical. They're gonna catch fish in an area if there's fish there. And then you got the guys who like to really cover a lot of water. You know, guys who are willing to pass up single fish here and there actually not that. It's the guys who are willing to kind of pass fish to really be able to catch fish on maybe a few key baits. You know, actually, since we're on Table Rock, it makes me think of James Watson. You know, James Watson kind of made that whopper plopper famous around this region. And you know, what he does is he gets on the trolling motor and just goes. You know, like he's one of those guys that on a tough day, he's gonna cover as much water as possible. He's not gonna get too keyed in to where fish are or where they're going. He's just trying to catch the one fish that's on a point here, the one fish that's on the back of the cove over there, and just keep on going. So a lot of different approaches in bass fishing. There's a lot of different things you can do. And a lot of times, like I said, there's not always a way that it's right unless you're Jacob Wheeler, and then everything that you do is actually right. Gosh dang it, my cord keeps getting caught on my rod. I need to move that.
Not feeling this point. I hate everything about this besides the fact that I'm on the lake. That's great. Everything else stinks. Need this hook to just go back here. Well, where am I going? Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. I'm lost. I'm lost. Everything looks the same. I mean, a marina is a high percentage place.
You still with him?
I don't know. I'm gonna go over there.
I don't know if you guys can see that on this. Look at the big ball of bait and that fish right below him. See if I can't catch that sucker. I think I'm gonna concentrate on the end of these docks. We've got, how much time do we got left? We got 20 minutes. I wanted to make a move, but I know there's some fish in this area, so why make a move? Mostly because I just like to catch topwater fish and want to catch me a plopper bass.
How much time we got?
Is that a
19
bald
minutes.
eagle?
Ugh.
All right, now I know that I'm staying here for the next 20 minutes because I have just seen a bald eagle. Look, he's like searching for food. Is that an eagle, actually? I don't know. I couldn't really see because the sun's in my way. I think it is. Oh, geez, not paying attention. I'm looking at the freaking bird over here, and my line is caught up on the dock.
Random things. Oops. Drop shot. I don't like the Minn Kota Ultras. I will say it loud and clear.
I probably should get out a spoon. That's another thing, James.
Come on, Minn Kota, fix your crap.
I think I'm just gonna fish the ends of these docks. Takes a long time to kind of fish through them, and I'm not even fishing them super hard.
No, man. I'm hitting some really good rocks.
There's another bass.
Some really good feeling rocks. little bit of wind. That's nice.
Come on, let's get another big, good largemouth before this ends. Hope Tyler got on some fish. I feel like I'm not doing my job today, but.
Oh man, I cannot cast.
This is tough fishing. You know, one thing I don't know if we've said is that this is really, you know, we're in kind of a summer to fall transition. And anytime you're in a summer to fall transition, it's difficult. Like that is one of the toughest times of the year. And especially a lake like this, you know, a lake like this, Table Rock, it's gonna develop a thermocline really late in the summer. And that thermocline is really gonna separate fish. You know, you're gonna have fish that are just around that thermocline and above. But when that thermocline breaks up, which is what is happening right now, what happens is the fish can get super spread out. You know, you're gonna have fish, you're gonna have a fall turnover, and you're gonna have fish that are super deep, you're gonna have fish that are super shallow, and they're just spread out. You know, sometimes you gotta catch them on a lot of different lures. But that's fishing. That's what it's all about. Coming out here.
This did not go at all how I wanted it to today. Every way possible.
What's our time? 10:07. 17 minutes, or 13 more minutes. $13 more. Come on, fish.
Wish I was talking to y'all more, but I don't got much to talk about. I guess I'm trying to fish high percentage stuff, fish big points with a crankbait, throw a weightless jerkbait against, you know, these docks here at a marina. Maybe fish are suspended underneath the floats. And I'm trying so many things and nothing's working. Don't know what else I haven't tried yet. I guess there's plenty of stuff I haven't tried, but things that I think would make sense for this time of the year. Ten minutes left. Let's try one more place. Uno más.
All right, guys, we got about 10 minutes left. I think that bank over there has a good little shade line on it. So I might try to just go Hail Mary, try to throw a whopper plopper real quick underneath or on that shade line, see if we can't pick up one more fish before this sucker ends.
Hop in there probably. Well, I'm not sure. There we go. This camera looking good. Okay. One last try.
All right, guys.
To catch a stinking bass.
Come on.
I'm not feeling good. If this is the first video of mine you've watched, I apologize. Maybe you learned something? I don't know. Usually I can make adjustments, catch fish, and teach y'all, but none of my adjustments are leading to fish, which is really frustrating. Well, got a little bit of clouds, maybe a little bit of wind. Whatever videos we filmed this afternoon could go better. No way. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Are you joking me? That was like a 5-pound smallmouth and I just lost it. Dang it. Gosh, man. Oh, that thing was huge. Man. I hate that so much. You lose battery? Thought it was full charge.
Not that one.
Oh. Man, oh man. Ah, it's so frustrating. So gosh dang frustrating. Giant smallmouth. Didn't have the bait well. Man. When it's not your day, folks, it's not your day. Right now is just not my day. That fish was pretty shallow too. We're only sitting at 9 feet, so that fish had to be shallower than 9. Oh man. This is a big smallmouth. Dang it.
Man, I wish we just had a little bit of wind. A little bit of a breeze. Tell you what, the cool thing about this lake, regardless of it fishing tough, is just, you know, you think of the 3 fish I caught today, a smallmouth, a largemouth, and a spot. I mean, that's pretty much any day you could come out here and catch all 3 species. So it's just fun. In my mind, that's just fun. So, but hopefully we get one more largemouth right here at the end of the day. Got a nice looking lay down. This bank is pretty much rock for the most part, but right up ahead of us, there's one single lay down. I talk a lot about on my channel about isolated cover and irregularities, you know, so on a bank that's really kind of flat and straight, one of the biggest irregularities we got here is this lay down. So I'm gonna slow down because if there's a fish on this bank, I can see him being right there on that lay down. Sometimes in the fall, you really have to make multiple casts at an object, a piece of cover like I am right now, to trigger a bass. It's kind of like, you know, your younger brother who is annoying you. He keeps running in front of you while you're watching TV. Eventually, you're probably gonna reach up there and grab him. Let's throw the old drop shot down there.
Well, I think we finally found the right type of thing. I got several bites on these type of points, but just couldn't really connect on many fish. Not many fish, any fish.
Alrighty, how much
Which
more
is not
time?
ideal.
4 minutes, come on.
Less than
Last
ideal
second
for
fish,
sure.
come on.
I'm interested to see though what Tyler learned. 2 Tylers, 1 video. Minimal fish. Very minimal fish. Timer's got to be finishing up.
Come on, baby. 1 more fish.
48 seconds.
1 more fish. Come on. Right there. That's got to be one. Shade pocket, little shelf.
My biggest fails in a long time.
Nothing.
Such a bummer. You gotta be kidding me.
30 seconds.
Is that a fish? No way. No way. Is that a fish to end it? It is. It is a fish. It is a fish. Is it gonna count? I gotta get it in the boat. I gotta get it in the boat. Is it a bass? Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's fighting really weird if it's a white bass. But I really hope it's a keeper fish of some kind. It is. It's a smallmouth. Let's go. Oh! As time expires. You, my friend, are my favorite fish I've caught in a long time. Why couldn't you have bit hours ago? Matter of fact, 2.5 hours to go, so I would have known what to do. Let's get this crankbait out of here, little 5XD. Missouri smallmouth. Beautiful. 2-pounder. I just can't believe how hard that was. That's unbelievable. Let me post this one on my Instagram story and we'll talk to you guys about our day.
All right. My line was in the water just before the cutoff, so I'm gonna fish this cast.
Well, boys and girls of various sizes, shapes, and colors. That was fun. I say that was fun. It was a struggle, but I think I learned something. I'm looking forward to talking to Tyler. We're gonna go down the lake and find him and finish up this video with him. But again, a new lake, you gotta always take something from it. And I really think these fish are not pushed up on the bank. They are off the bank. And that one smallmouth there has proved that there are fish in that 15 to 20 foot depth. And that 5XD got the job done. Don't even know what color this is. Some kind of ghost shad. Let's meet up with old Tyler Berger from Bass Fishing HQ. We're good, we're going. That's about how I feel, right?
That is about how we feel.
Now, y'all of course got introduced to Tyler, and you also saw that he obviously is a better fisherman than I am.
That's not true.
And you got 4 fish, right? 5?
I caught 3 and 1 like microscopic. It was this big.
Got it.
So,
that still counts.
I guess.
And I caught 1 keeper smallmouth and then lost a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-pounder.
Yeah,
huh?
it was not fun.
Really? Did it jump?
Jumped sideways. It was like boom. Well, I want to sit down and kind of go, what did you learn, and then what did I learn? So start with you. In your 2.5 hours on Table Rock Lake, what'd you learn?
Well, I think that, you know, I kind of was looking at the map last night, and I wanted, a lot of times when you come to these huge lakes, some of these creek arms are huge. They're a whole lake in themselves.
They are, yeah.
And so, you know, with it kind of being that summer to fall transition, you really don't know if the fish are more on the main lake, if they're starting to work kind of in the backs of those creeks, which is typically a fall pattern that you see. So I started in a kind of a small creek because I wanted to be able to fish from the lake and from the main lake to the back. I did that with the whopper plopper, no bites, so no clues at all. And so then I ran over. I had passed the marina going into this one little creek, and so I went over to that marina and I just started fishing some of the walls, and then I saw fish start busting, and I was like, oh gosh. So I'm like, I pick up a topwater, I sling it over there, have one hit it, miss it, and whatever, and then I realized that there's a guy sitting right there. And I'm like, okay, I got to get out of here. So I didn't want to interrupt him. I ended up coming back there, catching some fish on a spy bait. But I would say like the biggest thing that I learned is, you know, I now that we're down on this end of the lake, I wish I would have come down here because there's a little bit of a chop.
Yeah.
And that's something I couldn't find up there. So I went to the shade.
Okay.
And so the biggest thing on this lake, shade-wise, is boat docks. So I went to the boat docks, and literally the first dock that I came up to, I skipped the jig up under it, and I caught a smallmouth.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right. So then I just started to run that, and I ended up catching a good largemouth kind of on the end of a dock. And that's the biggest thing I guess you can say is I learned is that I think the fish are still out for the most part. I think that they're more on the main lake. Sure, there's probably some fish in the back. Like there's always going to be some shallow fish that are that way. But I think the majority of them are still kind of on the main lake. That's where I saw most of the bait as well. So that's kind of the biggest thing that I learned. You know, if I were to come out here tomorrow, I would probably still run topwater in the morning. I would probably run more main lake stuff. And you know, if it was conditions like this, then I'd pick up that you know, jig or drop shot and just kind of work on some docks. So that's probably what I would do.
That's good. You learn more than I did. I did the same similar thing. Started main lake. You know, worked my way all the way back top water and got one bite, but it wasn't telling. There was no, you know, no pattern I could run there, and so I just decided to stick to really a crankbait and a drop shot. His boat is spot locked over there, by the way.
I thought fish was busting for a minute. I'm like, of course.
And the weird thing is, now maybe I'm used to catching smallmouth and you know, St. Lawrence, and they eat when you drop on them. But I dropped on so many fish on live scope with my drop shot, and they would all chase it down. Not a single one ate it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they just weren't feeding or active yet, or what the deal was. But the only two I got, or two bites that I got that were real, you know, significant, were on a crankbait on main lake points. Yeah, and I tried all different kinds of points: chunk rock, slate rock, and gravel seemed to hold the most bait fish.
Okay.
Smaller rocks for me, at least.
Okay.
So this afternoon, I'm just gonna plug around with a crankbait. Yeah. And fish as many gravel points as I can.
Hey.
And yeah, that's so if we're, you know, in a tournament situation, what would you do going forward the rest of this afternoon? If you're practicing for a tournament.
Well, now that I know what you've done, it might change. But if, you know, kind of like, you know, if this was a tournament situation, you know, there's so many docks on this lake. There's going to be a population on a dock, you know, and with the sun being high, with it not really being, you know, windy, I would just really focus on a lot of docks. You know, fish in the docks, try to figure out what docks they like, whether it's a single dock, whether it's a big marina dock, whether it's the little marina docks. There's probably a certain dock that they're on, and it's once you find that, it might be more of a consistent pattern. So that's probably what I would focus on. Now, knowing what you kind of experienced, you know, it would change, you know, because just knowing that one little key is like, okay, we both got bit on main lake stuff. So instead of focusing so much on docks, it's like, okay, maybe I'll just start idling some of these points because you're probably going to be able to see some of those fish. You know, you may have just pulled up and started winging away, but I feel like you'd probably be able to see the fish in some of those rocks. So you might be able to find a school or a brush pile or whatever. So that's probably what I will focus on, is maybe just offshore. I feel like I like that pattern. That's also, I'm not a big dock fisherman, so that's the other thing. Like, knowing what I know from you, that's probably what I would do.
Funny, because I love docks, but I just wasn't feeling the docks today. I was feeling the points, and so yeah, I guess collaborating with each other, we'll probably catch more fish this afternoon. Yeah, well, I feel like we will. That's a good thing. Now, if y'all enjoyed this, which I hope he did, because, you know, I'm sure he was talking to the camera a decent amount, and I was talking to it probably not as much as I should have, because I was pretty upset the whole day. But it was intense. But go subscribe to his channel. He's putting out a lot of really helpful, engaging bass fishing content, and I think you're going to see a lot more of him in the future. And of course, we're going to collaborate a few times this week. I say we go get him back to his boat. Absolutely. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of TRF.